betrayal of gratitude. Why is the most thankful holiday also the deadliest? Thanksgiving, a time for family, food, and forced gratitude. But the universe has a twisted sense of humor. In this video, we're diving into the times the holiday itself became the villain, a chronicle of America's darkest Thanksgiving tragedies. You're going to see a deadly stadium collapse, an unsolved family massacre, a youth pastor who snapped, and the pure chaos of a Black Friday stampede. If you don't want to miss one of our deep dives into the absurd ways life tries to kill you, then hit that subscribe bell. Let's start with a simple question. How does a football game turn into a mass casualty event? The furnace beneath the crowd. San Francisco, 1900. It's Thanksgiving week and everyone is buzzing about the annual big game. Stanford versus California. The energy is electric. So electric, in fact, that over 500 people, students, children, workers, decided the best view was from the roof of a nearby glass factory. Because nothing says holiday spirit like ignoring basic structural integrity. The roof predictably groaned beneath the weight, then silence, then the screams. Dozens plunged through the beams into the blast furnace below. 23 people, many of them children, died. Over 100 more were maimed or burned. The papers called it the Thanksgiving Day disaster, the deadliest sporting event accident in U.S. history. The city learned too late what poor construction and unchecked crowds could do. The moral? Never trust a roof that wasn't built for a party. Well, that one was a bit of a fiery start. But hey, at least it was a crowd. That one you didn't see coming. Because the next killer was hiding in the quiet of a dairy farm. Blood in the barn shadows. Upstate New York, Thanksgiving Eve, 1930. The German dairy farm. James, Mabel, and their two children, Bernice and Raymond, were preparing for a quiet holiday. The kind of wholesome Norman Rockwell scene that makes you sick. By morning, the milkman found all four of them stabbed to death. No forced entry, nothing stolen. No neighbors heard a struggle. Authorities worked through the holiday, but no clear suspect ever emerged. The killings froze the community, and for nearly a century, the German murders have remained one of the Northeast's most haunting, unsolved Thanksgiving tragedies. The irony? The only thing missing from this perfect holiday scene was a clear motive. Okay, so the quiet farm is out. What about the friendly skies? Surely a modern marvel like air travel is safe, right? You'll never guess what happened next. Descent through the storm. December 1st, 1974. The long weekend is ending. TWA Flight 514 is descending through a winter storm toward Washington Dulles Airport. Families returning home, students heading back to class. The perfect picture of post-holiday exhaustion. But somewhere between the cockpit and the control tower, communication broke down. Air traffic instructions were misunderstood. Altitude was misjudged. Visibility was nearly non-existent. The Boeing 727 struck the ridge on Mount Weather with full force and vanished in the storm's roar. All 92 souls aboard were lost. The investigation that followed reshaped national aviation procedures. Out of tragedy came a revolution in safety, but too late for those on board. Turns out the most dangerous thing about holiday travel isn't the traffic. It's ambiguous language. So, we've covered crowds, farms, and planes. Now, for the most dangerous place of all, the family home. Well, that one you definitely didn't see coming. The apartment on Wanda Road. Costa Mesa, Thanksgiving weekend, 1991. Inside an apartment on Wanda Road lived William Bill Nelson, 56, and his young wife, Omima, 23. Their marriage had been short, troubled, and filled with conflict. A recipe for disaster with or without the turkey. Sometime over the holiday weekend, a violent struggle erupted. Bill Nelson was killed. Omima later claimed self-defense. Prosecutors argued murder. What happened behind that closed door remains known only through physical evidence. But what is certain is this: Thanksgiving ended with one life taken and the other sentenced to decades in prison. A holiday meant for togetherness, ending in a permanent separation. Domestic disputes are tragic, but what about the pure, unadulterated chaos of American consumerism? You'll never guess what happened next. The doors gave way. Black Friday, November 28th, 2008. It's still dark. More than 2,000 shoppers are pressed against the sliding glass doors of a Walmart in Valley Stream, New York. Inside stood Dimitai Damour, a temporary employee assigned to open the store. His holiday job? To stand between a mob and a cheap TV. When the locks clicked, the weight of the crowd shattered the frame. The wave hit like a battering ram. Damour was knocked down, overwhelmed by the force of hundreds of feet. Panicked shoppers surged over him, unable to stop. By the time authorities wrestled control back, Damour was gone. Americans argued afterward about greed, about corporate responsibility, about shoppers who didn't stop walking. The conversation meant little to Damour's family, but hey, at least someone got a good deal on a toaster. The madness of the crowd is one thing, but what about the madness of the individual? Especially when that individual is supposed to be a man of God? Well, that one you definitely didn't see coming. Youth pastor of Purgatory Road, Chester, Virginia, Thanksgiving Day, 2017. The Gaddis household. Jeanette, her daughter Candace, Candace's boyfriend Andrew, and Jeanette's husband Christopher Gaddis, a church youth pastor. Dinner came and went, pictures were taken, the perfect facade. But after night fell, tensions escalated. Christopher retrieved a firearm. Jeanette was shot first. Candace and Andrew were killed next while trying to escape. Police found Christopher sitting on the porch, still armed, waiting. He surrendered and later received 58 years in prison. Thanksgiving in that household became a memory only one person lived to recount, and he became the reason the others never would. The ultimate lesson in holiday tension: sometimes the youth pastor snaps. From a youth pastor to the streets of a major city, the holiday is supposed to be a break, but for some, it's just another day for bad decisions. You'll never guess what happened next. Sirens across the city. South Los Angeles, Thanksgiving Day, 2023. The city is a mess of heavy traffic and scattered gatherings. Throughout the day, tragedy unfolded in 3 separate, completely preventable collisions. A 24-year-old mother killed by a speeding driver. Alma Leticia Aragon, 26, died when a reckless driver struck her vehicle. A homeless man was struck and killed during evening traffic. 3 deaths, all unrelated, except for the date and the decisions of drivers who should have been celebrating, not endangering lives. LAPD's holiday statements turned somber. Thanksgiving had become one of the deadliest days of the year on the city's roads. The only thing more predictable than a turkey coma is a holiday traffic fatality. Traffic is a nightmare. But what about the kind of conflict that follows you home? The kind that doesn't care about the holiday spirit? Well, that one you definitely didn't see coming. The morning gunfire broke the quiet. San Antonio, Thanksgiving morning, 2024. Before sunrise, a man approached a home. Inside were people he knew. Police later said the shooter had a long-running conflict with at least one of the men inside, because nothing says Happy Thanksgiving like settling a score at dawn. Shots exploded through the early morning air. 2 men were killed on the spot. 2 more were seriously injured. Neighbors woke to chaos. Police quickly detained the suspect nearby. Thanksgiving dinner in that neighborhood was overshadowed by sirens and sealed doors. As police later stated, this was an act born out of familiarity, not randomness. The ultimate holiday message: sometimes the people you know are the most dangerous. So there you have it. 8 times the holiday of gratitude turned into a festival of failure. The lesson is clear. Trust nothing. Not your roof, not your pastor, and certainly not the guy driving next to you. If you enjoyed this tour through the holiday absurd and you want to ensure you're notified the next time we expose a common household item trying to murder you, do yourself a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe before your next meal.